Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Bailey, also known as CringeMcCringle here on YouTube, and originally I had zero intro planned for today's video, but now I do. Today I'm going to be talking about the Transformers Animated Collector Club, Cheetor. One of many exclusive Transformers animated repaints that now commands a hefty price on eBay. I'm not too sure how much I paid for this guy, but honestly, I don't care. I love this toy. And I thought that I would share an anecdote at the beginning of this video. If you don't want to hear it and you want to skip to the actual review, just go to that timestamp there, and then you can skip it, and then we can get back into it. But I wanted to talk about something that happened on my trip to TFCon Chicago. I know that it was quite a number of months ago, but I didn't really give myself the opportunity to talk about it, but I thought I would here. So I actually had a very special moment with this toy and a certain someone's copy of this toy. So someone in the fandom was able to go to California to the toy store that has Derek J. Wyatt's collection that they're going through and selling, and they were able to purchase Derek Wyatt's animated Cheetor. This same fan also got a commission done by Aaron Archer to make a Posca painting of Derek driving Cheetor in his vehicle mode. He got it painted right over the box. I'm sure I have a picture that I'm going to put up on the screen. I thought that it was an absolutely beautiful tribute to the man that made this design and this wonderful show. I also have this picture of my friend Proto Man Daniel, who I'm sure a lot of you know, actually playing with Derek's copy of Cheetor. I just thought that was kind of cool and probably needed to be documented and photographed. So, sorry Daniel if you don't like that picture, but that's all I got. But now, let's move on to the review. Starting with the box, this is what it looks like without Aaron's Posca paint on it. We've got some animated art on the front with Cheetor's design. This design apparently was inspired by Transtech Cheetor. So, technically, would this mean it's the only Transtech toy in existence? Perchance. Opening up the box, he comes packaged in this high quality and dense foam, just like the BotCon set did. But what's under that foam? Well, if we pull this out, we will find the tech specs, which have been bent on the corners, unfortunately, and these instructions, which, for whatever reason, are weirdly not made out of the same plasticky material that instructions were from back in the day. They're actually made of paper, so, Pulling him out of the box and starting in robot mode, I love this design, and the toy captures it wonderfully. For a deluxe figure, he is very tall. He towers over just about everybody except for maybe Lockdown. Definitely has a runner's build, which makes sense because Blur, which is who the mold was originally based on, is basically just the Transformers equivalent of the Flash. It makes sense that he would be tall and skinny, is basically what I'm trying to say. Cheetor's head sculpt is great. I love the trident design with the yellow and the orange. It makes him feel very regal and important. It's got hits of orange, green, and silver on the face. And like most animated figures, he has a huge-ass chin. Interestingly enough, though, the box shows him having black paint hits around the outline. However, on the toy, they're not there. I would also like to point out that there are two head designs for Cheetor. There's this one that's made by Bill Forster, which can be seen in the second volume of the Transformers Animated Almanac. And then there's this one, which we see on the figure, and that one was designed by Derek, so that's the correct one. Don't care for the... yeah, this is the right one. Now let's talk about the rest of the colors. Obviously, Cheetor is yellow because, well, that just makes sense. However, unlike his Beast Wars counterpart, there isn't a hint of blue on this figure at all. Instead, he's got hints of burnt orange and neon green, which on paper sounds like it would be an absolutely nasty color combination, but on the figure, I think it actually works pretty well. I love all of the spots going throughout as well to add just that little extra flair to the robot mode. Cheetor also comes with this piece. This becomes the hood in vehicle mode, but for robot mode, it's his weapon. Push this button, and it's supposed to spring forward, but it appears to not be working anymore. Anyway, plug the weapon into one of the holes on Cheetor's arm, and he now has a chainsaw. Alright, so now we are going to talk about the articulation for Cheetor. Starting off at the head, it is on a ball joint, so it can look all sorts of directions, can even look super far up, and just a tad bit down, not super far down, but he can look down. Going over the arms, they do rotate 360 degrees. They do kind of swivel a little bit due to being on a ball joint. The elbows here, there actually is a bicep swivel I've kind of forgot about, so that's nice. And then we've also got the elbows here at a ball joint. If I could actually get it to show off properly. See, there we go. Ball joint at the elbow. And then something that I honestly didn't even know he had until I started messing with this figure was a waist swivel. Did not know about that. So yeah, that's solid. That is a great addition. Moving the arms out of the way just so we can take a look at the legs. The legs can go forward, super, super high. They can also go back, also super, super high. And they can go out. And then we've got the knee bend there. And this wheel rotates. Not sure why, but it does. And then finally, we've got the toe here on a little ball joint. And the heel spur is also on a ball joint and a little assembly. So that is the best way I have found to get him to stand in most positions, is to move this about. Interesting. When it comes to posing and articulation, Cheetor is actually pretty solid. I've been able to put him in some good poses despite the sheer length of his legs. Transformation time, Cheetor is a fun figure. He basically just folds in half and compresses together to turn into a once tall and lanky robot into a sleek and stylish sports car. And here we have the vehicle mode. A bright yellow futuristic sports car with black spots all over it because, yeah, cheetah! I know it sounds like I'm making fun of it, but in all actuality it is a very cool design. The shape of the car is sleek and sharp, and the colors just really pop on this figure. There's a lot less green and orange in this mode than in the robot mode. The green is only on the front for the headlights and this little lip, which is the blade. The orange is relegated to the back window, and then there's some red for the taillights. The rest of the vehicle is yellow with black spots all over, and the windows have been tinted so illegally that I can hear barricades, lights, and sirens coming to pull him over right now. Some other little details and design choices that I like are the wheels. The front set has been painted in silver and has these little things molded in there, which, honestly, they kind of look like teeth to me. He also has a nice red outline going along the tires. The rear tire, however, lacks a rim, which causes me to question how this car drives, but hey, it's cool and it looks dope as hell. The weapon still works in this mode and can be displayed with the blade out. Just don't take the weapon off, otherwise, yeah, that looks awful. Overall, Collector Club Cheetor is a great figure, as most animated figures are, but nonetheless, he stands out. Not just because of his absurd height, wild design, and just the fact that he's a Beast Wars character and animated, but also because I love this mold and I have fond memories of it. So, with that being said, everyone, I will see you all in the next video review. Take care.